The history behind the Chief Wahoo logo is normally told like this.
In 1947, Indians owner Bill Veeck hired a 17-year-old artist named Walter Goldbach to design a cartoon logo for the team's namesake.
Goldbach produced the first version of what would become the modern Chief Wahoo logo. Except that's not the complete story. 15 years prior to Goldbach's illustration, the plain dealer began to run cartoons of an Indian to illustrate the previous day's game outcome. Known as The Little Indian, the cartoon became wildly popular and ran for over 30 years. While Goldbach's logo isn't an exact copy of The Little Indian, it's very similar to what was already a locally beloved character. Then there's the name, Chief Wahoo. Goldbach didn't come up with it. In fact, there's no record of the character going by the name until 20 years after his debut, so where did the name come from? Well, Chief Wahoo was already a pre-existing name for any Native American caricature. When the club changed names from the Naps to the Indians, the plain dealer ran a cartoon with a fan bellowing bizarre faux native chants like Wahoo Zoa Irk, so the name could have been popular lexicon. But then there's Allie Reynolds. Reynolds was a Native American, a member of the Muskegee Creek Nation, and when he was signed to the team, he excelled. By the season's end, he led the American League with 151 strikeouts. Then, in 1946, Reynolds was traded to the New York Yankees, where he was part of 6 World Series championships. When writing about Reynolds in the early 1950s, Cleveland sports writers gave him a nickname, Chief Wahoo, a parting shot to a successful player traded to another team. An interesting possibility on how the logo got its name.
Regardless, the amount of controversy created by the character became stronger and more divisive as the decades passed. Announcements of the team focusing more on the classic C logo highlighted the growing discomfort owners had with the racial caricature. Indians PR took pains to always call Wahoo a logo, never a mascot. The team didn't dress anyone in a Wahoo costume, instead choosing an amorphous blob named Slider to hype up fans. Still, even as a logo, it's the only logo of an American sports team to depict a specific race. And no, Notre Dame doesn't count, as Leprechaun isn't a race. The 2017 World Series brought more attention to the fight between fans who saw Wahoo as a beloved institution and fans who called Wahoo a racist stereotype better left in the past. In January of 2018, the Indians announced that Wahoo would be removed from all uniforms, billboards, and advertising by the start of the 2019 season, although nostalgia merchandise would still be available. Reaction, predictably, was mixed. Regardless, Chief Wahoo will soon be a piece of Cleveland's sports memories.